Yes, petrified.
All right,
I don't have any
we're going to start.
voids in front of me. I can't see myself. I mean, you know, does my hair look okay?
All right.
Fantastic.
We're streaming, guys.
Okay. Never seen that.
We are streaming. I think we should do a little intro, Tom, just to let people know.
You think?
Yeah. Just be like, we're gonna go live soon.
Right, I'm not gonna watch the chat.
I can't do that.
I'm watching it.
All right.
Why don't we let people know what they're watching? Just
All right.
cut
Giles says we are live.
Graphic off. We're going live.
All right, Tom, you're on.
Guys, it's Tom Sinclair with a very special edition of Streaming Idiots coming to you live from the floor of NAB 2018 Central Hall in the, how can we describe, in the amazing live streaming studio that PTZ Optics has created out of nothing here. In just a few minutes, we're going to start the Streaming Idiots show. Hang around, we'll be right back. Ready to go.
All right, Tom, you're on. Oh, there you go.
Oh my God! Martin did that. He built those from scratch.
We're gonna try again.
Well, hello, welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair. This is Streaming Idiots, and yeah, you're saying, well, hold on a second. I wasn't supposed to be watching this today. I wanted to watch something else. No, this is Streaming Idiots. Yeah, this is the place where we set the bar really low. Our expectations are down here, so when we screw up, of course we're going to screw up. Everybody's screwing up. Welcome, glad you're here. I'm Tom Sinclair. I am coming to you live today from NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada, from the PTZ Optics booth in the Central Hall, where they have graciously invited me. Well, actually, I invited myself, but that's okay. They have graciously allowed me to come and make use of their studio, and I am so delighted to be here. We had such fun. I hope you tuned in for the live stream last night. We had such fun from the Streaming Idiots meetup. I hope you enjoyed it too. We had interviews, we had giveaways, we had a wonderful time. We had, I think, over 100. First I planned for 100, and then I cut it back to 50, and then it said 75, and then it looked like over 100 folks showed up. So it was really great, and there were folks there from all over the world, literally, and all over the U.S. too, of course. And so it was so wonderful to meet so many new folks that, I mean, you know, when you do these shows, you develop relationships with people all over the place, and you correspond by email and text message and chats and all that. And so you feel like you kind of know folks, so that when you get to meet face to face, it's kind of like seeing an old friend that you haven't seen in a long time. It's really cool. I have two old friends with me today that I haven't seen in a long time, and it's really cool. I want to welcome into the show from PTZ Optics, weighing in at just teasing, Paul Richards and Tess Protesto. Welcome, guys. I'm so glad
Tom.
You're here with me today.
Oh,
I know
we're
you
glad
guys
you're
are
with
just
us.
like live streamed out by now, and it's only day 3.
No, we're ready to rock. Had enough coffee.
Let's
And
skip a Streaming Idiots show just because you're at NAB. Come on.
Oh, thank you.
we would be
Thank you.
disappointed. And I want to do a special announcement here. We are only going to chat on Tom's chat wing on his website. What's the exact link to get to the show?
Generally, I would be pointing like this and saying, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, because that's where you can find the chat. If you click the Watch Live tab, the chat will be associated with that.
Okay.
And
So come over
if you're
here.
watching us on Facebook, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com. If you're watching on one of the PTZ Optics channels, come on over to sorry about that, Paul, but come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, where you can get in on the chat. Now, you remember that this show is nothing but a infomercial for my company, Eastern Shore Broadcasting. A lot of info and maybe just a little bit of commercial. So you guys ready for the commercial part?
Fair enough.
Okay,
Fair
here's
enough.
the commercial part. We design and build streaming PCs for folks all over the world. In fact, we built one for PTZ Optics like, what was it,
Use
like
it almost
20
every
years
day.
ago.
Yeah.
It seems like forever ago. And we ship them literally all over the world. We shipped one to the U.S. Virgin Islands a couple of weeks ago, and I was begging them, will you please let me come down and install it personally?
Yeah.
And they said, no, we don't need you. We just need your box. But I also am a reseller for vMix. I'm the #1 reseller in the U.S. for vMix, second year in a row, and I'm so delighted. And they've actually invited me for the second year in a row to come back and represent them here in the vMix booth at NAB. So if you're here at NAB and you haven't been by the vMix booth yet, you need to come. It's in the South Lower Hall, 4620. South Lower Hall, 4620. Find New Tech and take a right, and then be there. We also represent Magewell and PTZ Optics, and who else do we represent? X Keys, and anyway, probably other folks too. My brain is mush right now. So, enough of this commercial part. Let's get back to the info. You guys were at the party last night.
Yes.
Wow.
Was it fun?
Wow.
It was amazing.
Did you get to meet some new folks?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We met a lot of amazing new people, and we met fans of both yours and ours, which was so cool to be able to put a face to the chat names.
Yes.
So much fun. I got to hang out with Luria. I've been gushing over that as well. So amazing.
I'm thinking that, and this isn't, y'all don't pay attention to this. Don't pay attention to this part. I'm talking with Paul privately. It's just me and him right now. I'm thinking that we need to co-sponsor this party next year.
Yes.
And see if we can't bring it up to the next level.
I can't believe the growth, Tom. It was last year. It was 24 of us. This year, there's over 100.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That was
What's going to happen
really
next year?
Something.
Well, I don't know. But I want to retain that intimate nature of the party where people can come and they can make contacts with folks. They can relax, let their hair down. NAB is just a lot of walking. It's a lot of activity. It's a lot of people you've never seen before and you'll never see again. And here we can go into an environment that's a little more slower paced, relaxed, have something to drink, get something to eat, meet some new people, meet some old friends.
Yeah. Yes.
Folks that you
so
saw
many
last
faces.
year at NAB. Yeah. So let's figure out what to do.
Yeah, we have a whole year to think about it.
Yep.
But we need it to be bigger and better, right?
But not too
big,
glamorous.
Not too glamorous. Just we might need a little more space.
I was shocked. That's 3 times the size as it was last year. What has changed for all of us?
Well, you guys have made a huge impact in the live streaming business.
Well, thank you.
Not just the camera sales, but your personalities online. Both of you guys are way over the top.
We've been told that a time or two.
And one of you by yourself would be way over the top, but you put the two personalities together. And one of the things I love about the way you guys work is that there's synergy. You're not fighting each other for attention. You almost sense when's the right time to jump in, when's the time to be quiet. And you guys have got that you've got it. Whatever it is going on, you've got it going on.
Tess is really good with sensing it. I'm probably not as good at you, but Tess knows. She's like, all right, now it's time for me to jump in, or even interrupt on purpose in a good way.
No, I
think he's going off the rails a little bit.
Too. I forget who it was. Like, you're always interrupting Paul. I'm like,
but what's the biggest
I'm
challenge
a jabbermouth.
What's the biggest challenge you guys have faced as a internet couple in this live streaming deal?
Biggest challenge. It's strategy. We're strategizing growth
and time.
We have a minimal amount of time. So what do? At one point we thought the answer was more shows. And I think that it's so much fun because we're continually saying, all right, no, that wasn't quite the answer, but it got us halfway. In fact, Tom was saying something that I think is going to be totally ahead of its time, and I'll just let it out of the bag. Something you said, well, maybe, what if we had a live streaming club, okay, where it's like a Twitch channel or something, an exclusive channel where it's, you're there, we're there, maybe Loria and David are there, and we get together this community of streamers, and we can build a television network just by allowing everyone to have access to the same channel. And that grows the pie for everyone, but it also gives the audience like a whole lot more content to watch from their favorite creators. I think that could be huge, Tom, if we structure it right.
Yes.
But there's all these things.
That would be so helpful to me because I never know when your show's on, and I never know where to go to watch. So I'm looking like, all right, is it on Stream Geeks? Is it on PTZ Optics?
You don't get my emails?
Yeah. But I don't read them until the next day.
He's a busy guy.
Are you kidding me?
She works hard on those emails, Tom.
What I need is a little thing to pop up on my phone and say,
yes. Well, we
Paul
talked about
that. Live in 5 minutes.
We talked about it's called
press
SMS.
here to
Figure that
watch.
out. I would love that.
We've been talking about doing SMS messaging. You have to opt in to do that. Like the user, basically, you put their email in, they get a text message. They say, "Do you want live show messages?
Yeah.
Yes or no?" If you say yes, put them in the list. Another thing. There's so many things.
Let us know in the chat. Is that something you'd be interested in? Maybe we can look into figuring that how to make that work.
Here's the deal. As a streaming idiot, I'm pitching to the lowest bar, which is me.
No.
And if it's not easy for me to do, I don't want to try to do it for my folks.
Yeah, understandable.
I want to make it as easy to be. It's the same time, it's the same place, and you guys do that too. But you've got 3 different brands going on.
We do have, yes.
And there's a little bit of brand bleed.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work for me. You guys just need to do one show.
Well,
like a 5-hour no, just season.
Well, before we stop talking about the party, which was a huge success last night,
yeah.
I took about 1.5 minutes of video. Do you want to share that?
Oh yeah, you've got video from last night's
party. Yeah.
You don't have the bad part.
No, just the good part.
Just the good part.
Just
okay.
the good part.
Yeah. We can play that.
What do you think, Jim? Can we roll that?
Which video is it?
It should be. I think it's VMix Reseller Meetup is what I named it.
I think there were 2 vMix resellers.
There we go.
Well, 3, maybe 4.
It's okay to be spelled wrong. Right, I figured. It's okay. It's Streaming Idiots. I figured that'd be all right.
Is there audio with this?
I think there's some music.
Yeah, we're seeing Scott's studio right now. There's the main part of the studio. Behind all the people is the radio set. He's got a really cool radio set, and we get an idea of what he's switching with. He's using TriCaster. I think that's TriCaster. Actually, I've never seen one. That's Dan and Eamon from Bird Dog, and that's the giveaway for the ladies. And Eric Pratt giving away a virtual studio.
Lots of giveaways, more than I even knew.
Dan Slider giving away X keys.
Oh, he was stoked.
And Sasha came all the way from where was
Austria?
it? Austria, yeah. And there's Daryl. We're giving away a Magewell dongle. And there's Tess. We're giving away a camera. Poor Tess didn't know that I was going to call on her.
Tom correcting me with everything I forgot.
Well, yeah. Well, the video was kind of obvious. And the winner of the camera and a free upgrade to NDI.
Ooh, sweetening the pot.
Yes, indeed.
So that was the vMix Reseller Meetup. It was a fun party.
Yeah, there's a little taste.
And again, it wasn't just a reseller meetup.
No,
it was a Streaming Idiots meetup.
Yes.
That is, of all the folks that are fans of this show, you could join it virtually, online, or for those of us that were fortunate enough to be there, like Mark, we could watch it in person. Yeah, and Dave was there. Dave and Kenny did a fabulous job doing some interviews at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. And one of the suggestions we got last year was don't just do a live stream that has no purpose and catches snippets of conversation where you might accidentally intrude on a conversation, where somebody's talking about something that they don't want the whole world to know. So we set up the interviews. and we were
That's a
able to
great
interview
idea.
different folks and got you guys on to be interviewed, and it was a lot of fun, and we might do something like that again. Yeah. So we'll do a party. We'll do a party.
Yeah, we have to.
Why don't you guys rent just like a real big mansion for your B&B next year? You guys could stay there, and then we could have the party there.
It's not a bad idea.
Maybe not a real big mansion, but maybe we could rent a
Maybe
space
that would make sense.
Yeah,
Honestly.
and then,
I mean, a
and
place
then you
where
can
we
just
could
stay
have,
with us.
you know, a big garden.
Yeah, big garden
with a
party.
Fountain.
Yes,
and-
yes.
Now
yes.
he's pushing.
Golden ceilings.
Yes. We're thinking like Vegas now. This is good. This is good.
That
Maybe
sounds
a
great. That sounds really
chat.
great. That's a great idea.
We got in the car or the Uber after we left, and he said, "Wow, that was near our entire chat in one room.
Yeah.
It was amazing."
I know. It was funny. I had a joke. I was like, I don't think anyone's watching the live stream because everybody's here watching it in person.
Actually, there were about 300 folks watching the live stream.
Are you serious?
And we're up to about 500 views so far today between YouTube and Facebook.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah, but before I forget, I want to give a huge shout out to Scott Whitney
Absolutely.
for letting us use his studio.
Oh,
That
yes.
was just, he was so generous, and we trashed the place, and it was so wonderful, and he's such a generous and gracious host. This is Podworks Studio. If you're in Las Vegas and you need a live streaming studio, or if you need a consultation, if you're anywhere in the world and you need a consultation on your live streaming studio, that's part of what Scott does. It's Scott Whitney. It's Podworks, Podworx, Podworks Studios in Las Vegas. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about PTZ Optics.
Yes.
We have, can I say this? Well, I'm going to say it, and then you can tell me I shouldn't have said it. Okay.
Okay,
It's
go
much
for it.
easier to get forgiveness as opposed to permission.
Paul can vouch for that.
So, Paul and I are two peas in a pod, I think. Yeah. PTZ Optics is going to be introducing a new camera,
Yes.
which is not shipping yet.
No.
It's currently being manufactured.
Yeah, it should be in transit. Like we're going to be shipping very soon.
And it is a 150x camera.
Yes. With 10,000 frames per second.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, it's a 30x.
Yes.
And it's the same chassis as the same footprint as the existing camera. Looks the same. Mm-hmm. So if somebody's already got a 12 and a 20, this is going to fit right into what they
Their
have.
family.
It's going to be an NDI version.
Oh, certainly there will be an NDI version.
And a non-NDI version.
And a non-NDI version.
In gray and white.
Gray and white.
And it'll have power and control, and what's that other thing it has?
Oh my gosh, video.
Video. Oh yeah, that's right.
That was the moment last night that I
That's
forgot,
right.
and how embarrassing was that?
Yeah, that was funny.
And so this is April, so we're expecting that June.
April, May. Yeah, I would say I'm hoping for May,
Definitely
but
by
yeah, let's say
So
June.
if Paul's hoping for May,
Yeah, then
So
that means
August.
it'll be
he
next
knows
year.
that means
sometime.
June. Yeah, June of 2018 though. That's good. All right.
Well, interesting. I don't know if I've told you about this. About if we're talking about the 30x camera.
We were talking about the 30x camera.
The field of view, the wide field of view, is exactly the same as the 20x.
No way.
So it's 60.2, I believe.
Right.
So the 12x is 72.
Right.
Which is really nice in the small studios. It's
Yes.
really good. The extra 12 degrees gives you a lot.
A lot.
But the 20x and the 30x actually have the same 60-degree field of view. So you can. The difference is the tight field of view. It can just zoom in a lot more.
Right.
And we have a calculator on our website. You can pull the dial over, and if you pull it all the way to the dial, all the way to 100 feet away from the camera, it gets a 4-foot wide by 2-foot shot. So almost about a head and shoulders shot from 100 feet away.
That's the 30x. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
There are going to be some people that are going to be all over that because it's going to fix a problem that
Yeah,
they
a lot of
have.
people have been requesting it, so Matt got that in the works.
We
and
know
here we go.
there is a high demand for large stadiums, auditoriums, and also think about the guy who doesn't know where he's going to be next.
Yes.
Right? He does football streaming one day, he does church streaming another day. You know, he would probably want a 30x over a 20 just because he's still got the same wide field of view, but he may need that extra zoom.
That flexibility.
Well, you don't even have to talk about somebody that's going from one genre to another. If you're in the event streaming business, you're going to be in a 20 by 20 room one day, and you're going to be in a 100-foot hall the next day.
Yeah.
Sure. If for those of you that are doing events, you can place your orders with this PTZ Optics reseller today for the 30X, and we will have those rascals shipped to you the day before Paul ships them to anybody else. Forgiveness, not permission. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that there's a high demand. I'm very excited about that product. And the fact that now every product that we offer will always also have an NDI counterpart.
Yeah.
Whenever we launch one product, we're essentially launching two. It's kind of
Awesome. That's great. That's great.
Did I tell you about the pricing?
They're not free?
They're not free.
Tell me about the pricing.
So the cool thing is that our 12X is $15.99, our 20X is $16.99, and the 30X is only going to be $17.99.
Get out.
So what Matt Davis has always
didn't
said
know that.
about the pricing for the NDI cameras and the Z cams and all that, it's about choosing the right camera.
Yes.
We don't want it to be, because we could have inflated that price, I would imagine, but it's about choosing the right camera for your scenario. If you have a small studio where it's going to be permanently there forever, the wide field of view is going to be better for you. If you're on a budget and you need a couple cameras that are a little large, the 20X is maybe better. But I'm thinking for the all-around flexibility for those event streamers, it's going to clearly be the 30X is going to be the choice.
Aren't you concerned that the 30X is going to cannibalize your 20X sales?
Good question.
I don't think there's any concern because it's a replacement of a camera model from the same company, you know what I mean? So cannibalization within your own brand is usually a good thing. It's more of an expansion of the whole pie.
See, he's one of those forward-thinking kind of guys that does that. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Good.
Tom, you're getting a few compliments on your VMix shirt.
Ooh.
Well, I only get to wear it 4 days a year. I wore it one time for one of my Streaming Idiot shows. And I got a waggy finger after that.
really?
That
Oh, really?
says, this is a NAB
Exclusive.
only.
Right.
So
you can
this,
wear it around the house, but
nope, not even allowed to wear it around the house.
are they watching you?
Well, they seem to know everything.
I'd love
And
to
the
talk
shoes.
a little
Can't
bit
forget
about
the
the new vMix features because I think they're going to change the game for
Great
the cameras.
segue.
It's also another funny segue too because you were getting in trouble for wearing the vMix t-shirt. Yesterday, Martin Sinclair was on the show and I said, hey, Martin, can I show some B-roll of the vector scopes? And he's like, no, you may not. Thank goodness we didn't show it. So, we're always breaking the rules over here. But
I asked the same question this morning. Martin and I were ready to do some
show
video
about it, and he said, no,
show
no,
them
no.
off, and it was kind of like,
so
we
can't,
don't really want to tell you no, but no.
We can
we
talk,
can't
but
show
we
it
can't
to you.
show.
But hold on, before you do that, they got an award this morning
I saw.
for vMix 21 for the color correction feature, and it hadn't even been released yet.
Wow.
Is
How
that
did they get an
cool?
award for it? I mean, it's incredible. Martin was on our show yesterday, and he said, I'm not sure how many companies I'm upsetting by putting a vector scope and a waveform monitor into our product, but there are people here who sell that product for thousands of dollars, and he's just adding it as an extra feature.
Just buy VMix.
An HD a 4K waveform monitor.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, and that's one of the things that Martin does so routinely is he adds such value to his software time and time again. And really what I think he's doing, Paul, is that he obviously wants to sell software to
Right.
people that have never used vMix before. But unlike other software companies, he's still looking after the folks that made a pledge to him by buying his software 2 and 3 and 4 years ago, and he's bringing them. Do you know that to this day, they advertise they do, but they don't charge for upgrades from one version to another?
Jeez.
I was talking with somebody today that's using version 14, and he's going to go home tonight, and he's going to upgrade to version 20 and
Whoa.
triple his feature set,
Oh, yeah.
and he's going to spend nothing to do it.
Wow.
Because Martin has said, if you're my customer for life. I'm not just interested in getting this new customer today, and then, it's going to cost them 50% of the cost of the software or something like that to upgrade in the future. No, I'm bringing everybody along on this journey together.
Wow.
I'm just,
I got to say that's great for us too, because those
it
new
is.
features and Tim actually said it. It's a PTZ-versary, because 2 years ago this show was when they added PTZ control, And that's really when, and that was ahead of its time. You know, that was before the TriCaster was using PTZ control over IP with our cameras.
That's Martin's MO, though.
It is.
I mean, he was the first person to adopt NDI in anything other than new tech.
Jeez.
He had vMix Social written 3 years ago that you guys have just blown up in the last year.
I love it. It's great.
He had vMix Call last year, and you know who's announced the vMix Call of their own brand this year? Skype.
Yes.
Skype is now NDI compatible and available as an input into vMix over NDI. I mean, this guy is, can I say this? He's an effing genius.
That's definitely apparent.
Yeah.
I mean, not just a genius. We can see the edge of the earth. Martin sees over the edge of the earth.
Yeah. It's the truth.
He is anticipating what's going on, and he has the capability to make it happen.
The new features that he released, I was just like, wow. So there's the waveform monitor and the vector scope, and I'd like to talk a little bit about how that's going to change everything. If anyone's using a PTZ Optics camera or any camera with vMix, it's going to change the way we set the cameras.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to get a lot more depth out of the cameras. So let's just talk about that for just 1 second, because I don't know, I haven't learned it all.
It's going to be great for our customers.
But essentially, what Martin has brought in is there's a waveform monitor.
Yes.
And a vector scope.
Right.
And it allows you to see the colors coming off the camera, and you can see whether or not you're clipping.
Yes.
And a lot of times your camera may be set to be clipping and you don't even know.
Right.
So you can take this tool and turn down, and it's called a flat image, I believe.
Right.
So you want to have like a flat image coming in that's not, nothing's peaking or going on, and then you can use the color correction tools from vMix to go ahead and boost the mids and get a nice thick, and so that's going to make our cameras look better. Not only do we have PTZ control of them, for 2 years we've had that, but now the actual image that we're getting out of the camera is going to be better.
And you can save the settings.
Oh yeah, tell us about that too, Tess, because that's a really big feature.
Yeah, it's going to be great for our cameras and pairing them with others. I mean, some people do that. Now you can automatically match. We can even write up knowledge-based articles, I was thinking.
Yeah.
Say, you know, if you have the 12X and the 20X, if you feel like they don't perfectly match, here's the exact settings that you might need to make sure that you're going to have the same appearance.
Not only can you put it in a knowledge base, you can put it in a file, make it available as a download that your customers can download. They can import it into vMix, and suddenly you can have a PTZ to Sony match.
And
you can have a PTZ to Panasonic match.
Well, and Martin he's actually kind of hilarious. He's kind of funny too, because he was like, or you could be a trailblazer and you could have presets so that Sony people could make their Sony cameras look more like PTZ Optics. And I was like, I like where you're going with this, Martin.
Of course.
Why not?
You should. You should.
Everyone get over to the PTZ Optics look. That's the preset we're going for.
That's right. That's right.
The streaming look.
Well, talking about streaming, one of the features that's been asked for in vMix for, golly, since I've been involved with vMix, is the ability, vMix can do up to 3 streams at one time.
Yes.
But in the past, it's been all or nothing. You get all 3 of them, or you get none of them.
Yeah.
And now you can start and stop individual streams individually.
Oh, that was a cool feature too.
You can start all 3 and stop one.
It seems like a small one, but it's huge.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some applications for that.
Did you hear what Tim was saying about the live shout out?
Yeah.
No.
It's genius. Okay.
Tell me.
So here it is, and Tom, you're going to love this one. So you can stream to 3 destinations, right? But now that you can turn them on and off, you could do live shout-outs. So you could say a live shout-out to your Facebook group. Hey, everybody, I'm in the midst of a live stream right now, but here's a 30-second clip letting you all know that my all-hour-long broadcast is here. So you can go, pop, and then you're in. Hi, everybody, I'm live for 30 seconds. Boop. Let me go do a live shout-out to this page. Boop. Live shout-out to this page. Boop.
Can you go back to the stream if you stop it?
If it's your stream now, you could, yeah.
So you could have one continual stream and then start these shout-outs that ride simultaneous to.
Or if you want one segment only to be posted in shorter form.
Yeah.
Which is what
for the on-demand
that's what
version?
I think the future
Yes.
is for our show. I want to have shorter content that's more, succinct and ready for the on-demand. It's nice and beautiful.
Well, we could split up our
then
Q&A
the Q&A,
and
the
giveaways,
trivia,
so
get that because
part-
that part isn't always.
It's special for our live viewers.
It could really help us a
yeah,
lot.
but it's different for the on-demand.
It changes the way we do our show, and it's just a small feature that Martin
Oh,
put
the
in.
wheels are going to be turning for us.
Speaking of wheels, it just dawned on me what the next feature Martin needs to add into vMix is.
What?
He needs to add it would be an input, and it would be the PTZ Optics prize wheel.
Yes, spinning wheel. That could be an Easter egg, like a hidden feature. It's like it's.
And you can change the colors, you can change the size, you can label it.
Oh yeah.
And then
Customize the prizes.
and no more accusations that it's weighted on one end. So that it never,
Yeah.
Or there's a feature that you can rig the wheel if you'd like to.
That would be even better.
It never lands on the
general.
Or you can do odds. No,
A prize wheel in general would be fun.
that would be hilarious. What if he has every single feature possible, and then he just starts adding things like
The
spinning wheel?
possibilities are endless, it seems.
they are.
That's hilarious.
And what's funny about this whole thing too is that the vMix code is just so compact.
It's so smooth. It's so fast.
Yeah.
What
That
if you could
does blow my
stream,
mind.
Ken Richard says, what if you could stream different outputs from vMix?
Yes. I think so.
I
I'll have
wonder-
to check.
That's a good question.
What would that mean?
think-
I would love to do that because you could have like a behind-the-scenes
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
And that would be great.
Oh, and stream only that camera.
Yeah, not just
Or-
the
or
national.
both.
Your user group
I
could
wouldn't
only
be surprised
get
if that.
one.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if he has that.
That would
That's
be
another great idea.
I mean, right now, when you do a second recording, you can record any other input on vMix you want to.
Multi-quarter gives you the ability now to record separate sections.
Right, but you're talking about streaming. I think
Yeah.
that
What was the vMix Power all about? vMix Power.
vMix Power. Let's see, what day was vMix Power released? Was that April 1st?
Oh.
Yeah, it was an April Fool's joke.
Okay.
It
Ah.
was April Fool's joke.
I see.
How
We're
many
not
inputs
really
can be
selling them on
recorded?
Eastern Shore Broadcasting's online site. No.
Tom, maybe you can help with this one. Anderson says, how many inputs can be recorded at the same time in the multi-quarter?
4.
4. Okay.
And they're not inputs, they're cameras.
Cameras.
Right.
Yeah, and if you had to do more than 4, you could use the NDI outputs with
Toss
an
it off to
NDI ISO
NDI.
recorder.
Yeah. I mean, NDI is just like this amazing, silly putty that you can form into any shape and get it to do anything you need to practically. It's amazing.
Oh, it's incredible.
There's Nick. Nick is the man from last night. Well done,
Nick.
Good job,
sir.
Nick.
Hi, Scott.
Oh, and Scott's here too. Hey, Scott.
Our gracious host. We were talking
Very
about you
good.
in the beginning of the show and how amazing it was. Yeah.
These are the folks
Always good.
from
How kind it was for you to let all those people in.
from Podworks. Yes.
Hopefully there wasn't too much destruction afterwards.
No, you can't even tell now.
Really?
If you walk in the studio right now, you'd have no clue.
Wow.
That was amazing. It
You're
was
not.
great.
That,
Because our report
yeah,
Only 4.
left the doors open last night. They came in. Took
you don't miss anything that was taken.
All right, there you go.
That's good.
Actually,
I also see Daryl and Maysville
Giles
lining up.
disagrees
They
and thinks that
apparently
multi-quarter
have
is
a
not
No, wait.
huge
They've got this
announcement.
amazing announcement
huge announcement.
that you don't even know about.
They won't tell me because they
waiting
know
in the wings
they
over here
know
going.
that I will probably tell you guys.
And
I would have
beautiful
told you
Amy
guys
looked
already what it
cute today.
was
Well, you would have
if I
told
would have
me,
known. I would have told you.
and I would have told
Hinted
Tess.
to it. You would have told Tess,
it's
yeah.
a smart move that
Tess would have
Daryl
posted it
is
online.
keeping
Tess,
to himself.
would have posted it online. Well, then we need to wrap up. Thank you guys so much. Number one, for being my guests, but also for being my hosts,
Of course.
Yes.
and for having such a great working relationship over the years.
That's what I was talking to the guys about that, about what you said in your speech last night, about how crazy it is in this industry that people that would typically be competitors can actually benefit from working together. And so many of us do.
All right, 90 seconds on that. Let me give that to you. It is up to us to continue to maintain that and show that as an example to the other people that are coming into the industry now, that this is the way to be most successful. Yeah, you can be sort of successful by trying to carve out a niche, but you could be more successful by being collegial in developing the niche. Will it happen as fast? Well, probably not. But if you're in it for the long term, if you're in it for the long game, you're going to make relationships, you're going to make friends, your friends will have your back, your friends will help promote you and support you. When somebody calls PTZ Optics and they say, golly, we'd like to get an idea of somebody that can build us a streaming PC, I'm getting those emails from you guys all the time.
Good.
because they're saying, well, we know the guy because we use the guy. And that's old school. You know, that's really old school. So
well, it's what's working for us, so
yeah,
we can vouch for that.
So thank you for hosting me. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks to Martin and Jim behind the scenes for making all this look so good.
Great switching.
And
Great switching.
Stay tuned. If you're watching on the PTZ Optics channels, and if you're not, you need to go over to the PTZ Optics channels. So stay tuned for the 1 o'clock Pacific time show coming up, because mobile video devices and Errol Spangler have got a announcement.
Thank you for that, Tom.
See you guys next week.
I love this. It's too good.